I'm super, super excited. So, yes, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, one of my very first game drives, we came here, and there was 2 youngsters, and I was saying that I had been told that there was 2 different litters. One was older than the other. And so we've got the older one that's here, beautifully, but I'm just going to back, because I just saw them now. I didn't see them as we came in. I was too focused on this. We've got the other little ones right in front of us. I'm just going to back up a titch. So we'll be able to see nicely the difference between roughly 3 months. So I think someone said these guys were born sort of mid-July, so that's really, are you going to come play right there? So roughly 3 months old, and then that other one is looking to be about 6 months old. So you see how these ones are super, super furry. They still have a lot more black on the bottom part. Are you going to be nice to your sibling or mean to your sibling? What we're seeing right now is a little bit of dominant, submissive behavior. The one on top sort of standing over, the one on the bottom lying down and putting its side and a little bit of its neck out. So I'm going to guess that the one on top is most likely the female. And then there's a little bit of love there. So a bit of dominance, and then the I still love you. Very interesting behavior. Hyenas are absolutely fantastic. Their intricate social systems, to me, are some of the most complex, and they are well documented, but I don't know how well understood they are. I mean, there's a lot of time and effort that goes into them. Are you chewing on the side of your sibling there? That's what it looked like to me. I mean, oohs and ahs and cute for sure, everybody. I agree with that 100%. We're going to miss the sunset tonight, but that's fine. This cuteness is well worth it. Are you now biting your sibling? Look at that. Yeah, that one's like, nope, that's too much. Too much for me. So they have, a lot of people assume wrongly that hyenas are hermaphrodites. They're not actually hermaphrodites. The female's genitalia is just elongated to simulate a penis, but it is, they're not. There's males and there's females. I'm sorry that the side of the car is in the shot. They are moving closer to us. I don't want to start the engine and scare them away. I want them to, because we've given them space, they're then now welcome to move into our space. So just so you guys are aware, everything is fine, no worries. So they do this really elaborate greeting. Now remember, hyenas are matriarchal. It's the females that run the whole system, and males are kicked away. The ones that are related are kicked away, and then go off and mate with other females, and they're not allowed near den sites or anything like that. So when they're greeting each other, when they're little like this, or let's say when the adults comes back, they do this elaborate sort of squealing, giggling noise, and then they'll lift their legs and they'll touch the genitals and rub on the genitals, and that's all done within the hierarchy in certain sequence, as well as with the adults in a certain sequence, as well as with the younger ones done as well. And you'll notice that the youngsters, especially the female cubs of the matriarch, the leader of the hyenas, will be given some sort of deference when she is greeting elders and elders are greeting her. It's an interesting concept. So we've just looked at those little ones here. Let's go back to the older one, and I want to know if you all can tell the difference just from looking at them between the two. Can you see how much larger this is? Angela, you're wondering, I'm assuming you mean the little ones that were close to our vehicle. What's wrong with them? Angela, don't worry. He's little, he's scruffy, he's been picked on by his older sister there, so that's probably why the fur is looking like that, but I don't think you should worry too much. Remember, when they're little, they do get quite a lot of, sorry, they are sniffing our tires on the left-hand side and trying to bite them, and so Seb's just saying, hey, that's not allowed, you must move off. So excuse us for that sound that you heard in the background. Remember, we have a personal bubble and they have a personal bubble. We don't intrude on their personal bubble, but they also mustn't intrude on ours. And when they're young like this, they need to learn the rules. This one's already learned the rules. The two younger ones haven't quite yet. So, Angela, don't worry too much about how they looked. They are healthy, but you will sometimes see that the one that's not the dominant, the one that's more of a submissive amongst that sibling pair that we saw, might be a little bit scrawnier than the other one. But it's not because he's malnourished. It's not because of any other reason than the fact that he's most likely a male. They are getting bigger. Males are much smaller than the females, and the females are going to grow a little bit quicker than the males. But to me, I'm not noticing anything that would be cause for concern. But then we also have to remember as well that not everything can live the full lifespan that is set out. Every now and then something happens in nature that means that that particular individual is not meant to be, whether it happens to be sickness or predation or whatever comes their way. So for now, these two are fine, but to keep in mind, ooh, there's a nice little stretch from the older one. Can you look? I know they're not side by side. I'm hoping they get side by side so that we can see. But I mean, look how much longer those legs are. Look how much thicker. Monique, I have a feeling that there would be two different mums with these two different litters. I have a feeling that they're around, but they're probably just taking a break for now. They usually will come around this time in the evening and nurse and then go off and leave these ones be. Are you now also going to come play by our tire? Hyenas, I love hyenas. They've got no scum in coming close to us. They don't fear us overly much. I mean, the parents, the mums from these ones come over to our areas often, into our kitchen, and sort of smell. So they've got no problem. They can hear me talking. They can see the movement from Seb with the camera. Hello, buddy. Now, I'm hoping they just move a little bit away. Seb, are the two little ones?
So one is lying down right in front of that old one, and then the other one is in front of the bonnet. I'm not sure where exactly, but...
Okay, well, I'm not gonna...
He's here by your right.
Hello! He's smelling... I must have driven over something. He's smelling... When I say he, it could be she. I can't tell from here. He's smelling the front of the car. What are you smelling? Courtney, you're asking at what age will the young hyena leave the den site for good? Courtney, I've seen the mums take away the little ones anywhere from 6 to 9 months, usually closer to 9 months. But when you have multiple litters like this that have a few months in between, it usually goes a little bit farther for the older ones because they're waiting for the younger litters to catch up and then moving off. So yeah, let's say roughly around 9 months. But also, I mean, I have seen variations with a little bit earlier, like I said, and now that I'm speaking out loud about it, I've actually seen variations with some of the older ones as well.
Smelling your head.
Is he smelling my...
It looked like it was smelling your head.
Really? Seb is saying that it looked like this one here was smelling my head. That's hysterical. Oh, we've had good laughs today. So this older one's very disinterested in the younger ones. He came to... I say he, could be a she, as she came over to investigate a little bit. Also probably to have a look just to make sure that whatever they're doing to the front end of my vehicle is not hurting them in any way. And then now she's decided that she's had enough of these silly youngsters. She's going to go back to her resting. I've had many guests over the years, especially when we get young hyenas like this, who comment on how cute their faces are. And a lot of my guests from North America, when they comment on it, say that it almost reminds them of a bear, the way that the ears look and the way that the face looks. It reminds them of a little bear. Scarlett, you're curious to know how much time do they spend without their mother. They will spend sometimes up to about 2 or 3 days without the mum. It depends on if the mum has been able to get anything to eat. In general, something that I've noticed over my time as a guide is that lion and leopard have to spend longer away sometimes than spotted hyena from their young, because sometimes it's harder for them to get the nourishment that they need. They have to travel farther, whereas a hyena has a much more varied diet and so has the opportunity to spend less away. But yeah, about 2 or 3 days. So while we're busy here with our uber cuteness, Ralph would like to say hello, so let's go over to him. We'll stay put and hopefully get a few more shots. So we've been watching these two younger ones and keeping an eye, and you can actually see the size difference between the two. The one on the left or towards the back, to me, definitely looks like a female, and the one from the male, and she's been picking on him a lot. I think he's quite sad about it. Now, with the talking about how long do the mums stay away, if the mums are away for, 2-3 days, and the female's picking on her younger brother like this one, it can sometimes result in that siblicide that we've talked about. It's also known as Cainism. And it is part of a natural process within a hyena social structure, so it is a little bit sad to see and a little bit sad to watch. But yeah, it is pretty normal. So they've now gone back to where we found them, just in that tall grass at the bottom of that fallen over tree. And the older cousin still napping away, but still super cute. If he puts his ears forward, would be a nice little screenshot. And as we are getting ready to wind down, these hyenas, because they're predators and it's starting to cool down, are going to start winding up. And we might just get some of their activity around camp this evening like we usually do. Sometimes we hear them, sometimes we see them, sometimes we just find their tracks in the morning. And when this little one grows up, it'll probably start coming towards our camp as well and investigating all the sounds and smells that we have. So we've had quite the amazing evening thus far, and I have thoroughly enjoyed, as I always do, spending all of this a great time with you. Times correctly, from my morning would be about 11:30 at night for you guys. Sorry, cursed. All right, so thank you so much from myself, Ralph, Brent, Jamie, camera crew, FC, and everybody here at Wild Earth. Enjoy your evening.